Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Deez. This is my workshop, and what you're about to witness is my final video on centering a tailstock. May not be perfect. I'm trying to follow all the directions and techniques that were provided to me in the comments. Thank you for all of those, to everybody who submitted those. A lot of great feedback on this last video where I clearly didn't know what I was doing trying to center this tailstock. Nobody was rude. Nobody had any terrible comments. It's kind of one of the first videos where there wasn't somebody who had to throw something in kind of nasty. So thank you, everybody. We really do have a good community watching and helping out on my videos. So thank you all for sharing and being part of that and helping me along, getting better and better. So right now, what we're looking at is the tailstock. You're going to see a bunch of clips. I've already finished messing with this thing. There's going to be a lot of clips, a lot of fiddling around with this thing. I spent a lot of time playing with this just to get it to where it's at. And at this point, I'm satisfied with where it is. The realization, which many of you suggested, that you're not going to get zero. I was chasing zero. I was getting frustrated. Just know that every minor tweak on any one of these set screws that adjust this thing will throw that everything way off. And the best technique that I ended up finding that helped me was to get a long precision rod, which I actually had one from a printer that I tore apart, and went back and forth several times. I made sure that I measured with the quill extended as well as the quill retracted, so that my measurements were all within, I think on average, I have about a 4 thou run out on the tailstock side and a 1 or 2 thou run out on the headstock side. Over the distance that this lathe bed is, I believe it's 16 usable space, 16 inches. That's plenty for me. It's fine for me for the projects that I'll work on. I'm accepting that. I'm done chasing zeros. What I'm doing is just wasting time at this point, messing with this tailstock. I've been making a lot of good projects. I just need to learn the better techniques. I can't use drill bits to bore a hole and expect it to be perfect. That's not what those are. That's for hogging out material, and then you go in with your boring bar to get your more precise hole, and then follow that up with a reamer if you really need precision. So that is the approach I'm going to go from now forward. I've got this thing trammed in pretty good. I'm done messing with it. I've got this indicator on here. I have it between my fully extended quill. This thing is running from zero. I think it's 1 to 2 thou off. If I run it down, bring it all the way back, we're about 2 thou. So I'm okay with that. But what I wanted to do is just give a quick intro to this video. There's some frustrating clips in there. It's just sometimes, if you've been in the garage messing with stuff, you can get frustrated. This has been the most frustrating thing to deal with, understand, and try to perfect. And at this point, I am done with it. It's good enough, and I'll use it when I need it, and it's going to be accurate enough for anything that I'm going to be working on. I'm not building rocket ships in this workshop of mine. So I hope you enjoy. I'll try to piece all those clips together so they don't look too random, but this isn't going to be a really great video, so to speak, as far as continuity and progression. It's just me going back and forth, testing, retesting, just checking this thing, giving some updates throughout. And I just wanted to do a final follow-up on the tailstock. I know there'll be some comments in this video for me to try other things. I'll read through those. If there's something that just clicks and makes sense for me to try again, I'll do that. But I don't plan on posting any more tailstock videos. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this video, and I appreciate every one of you. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Deez. This is my workshop. This is going to be a follow-up video to the centering of the tailstock. There was a First off, thank you to everybody who commented. I was doing that whole thing wrong. I updated my thumbnail to reflect that. And this is going to be my revisiting video. A lot of good techniques. One that stood out was there's 2 or 3 of you that really outlined it very well. Some people I talked to offline also told me how to do this. So that's the technique I'm going to go with. Really, it's all about, really, I'm going to call it tramming the entire lathe. Not just the tailstock. You can't get to the tailstock unless you get everything else kind of in order. So you got to check your headstock, check your tailstock. It all should be in line with your ways bed. I'm going to try not to talk the whole time. I just want to get this done. I've done 2 or 3 of these tailstock videos, and it really is, the tailstock deal is a frustrating thing on these. So anyway, hope you find this one interesting, and I hope I get it right this time. We're just going to get started using the techniques that were described to me, and then I'll do a follow-up. And if I get it right, I'll tell you what I did, and we'll summarize the video there. I've got a straight rod in here. I don't know if I told you about that rod. This rod is from a printer. I think it's pretty well precision ground. I didn't want to buy a leveling rod. I thought I could do this on my own. So I'm just checking the various parts. I thought, okay, my collet chuck's got to be pretty spot on, right? And I'm getting 4 thou run out measuring my rod. And I thought, well, that's quite a bit at the headstock, I think. 4 thou just really seems to be off. And again, I'm mounted to my compound because it rides along the ways. So I work myself back, and now I'm just on the mounting plate that's part of my headstock, and it has about 1 thou run out, if you can see that dial. I'm fine with 1 thou run out on the mini lathe with that. So my headstock has a 1 thou run out. I'm okay with that to the lathe ways. What I'm not okay with is 4 thou. I think that's excessive. I did go ahead and loosen and tighten this back up. I know there's a little bit of play with the screws when I'm mounting this fixture collet chuck, but let's go ahead and move this back to my workpiece, see if it's any different since I loosened it up. Get that. Bring that down a little more. Should be good. Might be tough for you to see, but that's how we're going to do it. All right, pretty close to 0. This has been 4 thou out. Hopefully you can see that. And now there is no run out. Half a thou. So I guess I'll go with this. Let me tighten everything up. Actually, that's much better. I think I've got it to where I'm ready to start tackling this. The plate has 1 thou of run out, the mounting plate for my chucks. We confirmed that in a clip. Hopefully you can still see this dial indicator. I think I have it down to 1 thou. Let's go ahead and turn this on slowly. It's not 1 thou, it's a half a thou. We're at a half a thou run out. Not too bad. I'm okay with that. What I did was I fiddled with the mounting screws, and I just made sure the chuck was mounted to where it was running very, very true. I mean, I'm on the carriage. I'm pretty sure I'm doing this right. I'm on the carriage. I'm indicating from the carriage, which is on the ways, and I am half a thou out. This is a precision ground rod, so I really think that's acceptable to me. So that's my starting point. And then I've got my center drill drilled in it, and then we're going to pull this thing out, and we're going to start doing some more measurements. So there's my starting point. Half a thou run out on this rod with my collet chuck. All right, I'm ready to continue on. I've got my dead center and my tail stock. But what I wanted to do is I moved my dial indicator up to my compound because it was mounted down to the cross slide or the carriage, and I just wanted to reconfirm. And we're about a thou. I bumped it there. We're about a thou out of run out, which is still acceptable to me. I'm trying to get it out of my mind to absolute zero. I'm not going to achieve absolute zero. So we got 1 thou of run out. That's what we're dealing with. And now what I'm going to do is extend this rod out, 8 or 12 inches, as far as I can really. And we're going to see how much run out. So I got a thou up here, and then we're going to do the tail stock with the dead center, and we're going to run it and see how much play or how far out it is at the end. Then we'll try to readjust this tail stock. Here's another quick clip. I extended this out about, let me measure it, as far as I could get it and still have a good purchase on it. This rod has been extended out about 11.5 inches. But I wanted to confirm still up at the chuck if we're still at a thou run out. So we're at a 0. And we're at a thou, maybe a thou and a tenth. It's pretty close to a thou. Again, we're trying to center this thing up, but it's pretty close means it's a thou. It's good enough. So we're still at our thou run out up here at the chuck. Now what we're going to do is try to push our dead center up. We're going to measure out here at the dead center, and we'll see what kind of run out here. And then we'll start messing with the set screws and trying to get the run out to 0 out here on the end. So let's turn that off. Get our tail stock lined up. I can tell already it's out. Let me lock it in place. It's fully retracted. We haven't got to the quill part of the tail stock yet, but we're getting there. Pretty close. I predict we're going to be over 5 thou run out, but we're going to find out. Let's turn this thing on and see what kind of damage we have. One, two, three. Actually, that's way better than I thought. There's a high spot. All right. Pretty close to 0. Let's see what kind of run out. It looks like 4 thou. Okay, 4 thou run out. So what we want to do is fiddle with these set screws on the side of the tailstock until we can take that run out. And there's a lot of good examples in the comments of techniques of ways to achieve that. I'm going to fiddle with it the best I can using the advice that was put in the comments, and we're going to try to get this thing as close to 1 thou run out or 0 as we can. Then we'll come back and we'll measure the front, the chuck side, and we'll see just how we're looking. All right, we've got an update. So again, left to right, we're thou off both at the headstock and the tailstock, and it's not opposite. It's actually, the thou is, you know, the same run out. It's not kind of angled. So this is about as good as I can make that. Again, I'm trying not to chase zeros. That's going to end up in maddening frustration. So the next thing I'm trying to do, and I think it's okay, top to bottom, I have about 4 thou run out. As it, you know, I think this has a 4 thou run out on this end, and this has a 1 thou run out. So if we reposition, let's bring this over. If we reposition this vertically, set our 0, turn it on, I still have my 1 thou run out vertically. And if I bring this over, as far as I can go, you can't see it, but right there's 5 thou, but let's turn this on. But it's not, actually it's only 2 to 3 thou run out. If I bring it back, so there's a 0. And if I bring it down, basically means that my tailstock is higher. I did read from some of the comments that everybody made that in one of the comments it's normal for manufacturers, or it can be normal for manufacturers to actually mount the tailstock a little higher. So if I run it back, there's a little off of 0. We run this back as far as I can. You know, that's, I don't like that. That's 6 thou higher on this end. So I'd like to bring that down, the nose of that down. But I think what I'm going to do is just notate that. I'm going to move on to the quill, because I did read a comment as well that said you can't do anything until you get your quill leveled to the lathe ways. So that's what I'm going to move on to. All right, here's a short clip. I decided I needed to, again, I'm working all the different angles, probably not in the right order, but this is just how I'm going about it. I've got my straight rod, precision rod in here. I got 1 thou run out, which we've already established. Okay, and when I run it, I decided to go side to side first to, you know, get this thing so it's not at a complete crazy angle, right? So left to right, that's what I'm working on. So what I'm hoping is a 1 thou run out or less at the other end without it going, you know, the other way is 0. So let's crank this over slowly. Excuse me, I'm trying to do this with 2 hands. And I'm able to have about a 10-inch travel. And there we go. So I have my left-right. I think I have my left-right dialed in pretty good. 1 thou run out, same distance as the other. And that's about a 10-inch travel. I can move my, I can reset this up in order to get farther back, but for now, I was just trying to get this thing closer, because it's all about what to do first, and there's a lot of good advice in the comments. You should do the quill. I haven't got to the quill yet. I'm going to do that soon, but I just wanted to share that. I am now side to side. I believe I'm parallel. All right, this is where I am stopping. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to retract this rod and put it back in. But I think I've got this lathe tail stock as good as I'm going to get it, at least for now. This is probably one of the most frustrating things and difficult things, I think, on the mini lathe to sort out. Is there's so many factors that can cause problems trying to make sure this tailstock is running true. So let's start here. We'll go back to the chuck, or at least as close as I can get it. We're zeroed out. I don't know if you can see it. And we have about our 1 to 2, 1.5 thou run out, like we've had all along here. And then when I bring it over, now my quill is fully retracted in the tailstock. Bring this thing over, and we're about 2 to 3 thou difference. I've gone back and forth with this thing, but again, I've got 4 thou run out for anything with this dead center. No matter what I do, no matter what position I put this in, with the length of this rod, I get 4 thou run out. I'm getting to a point where I'm at that acceptance level, right? There's going to be some non-perfection. There's going to be some run out in this machine, and I'm okay with that. I'm just tired of chasing that 0. I can't get it. I'm not going to be able to get it, at least not now, not with this machine, not with this quality. And it gets even worse when I extend the quill. So, for instance, if we zero that out and we bring this thing over, I had this thing better. I don't know why anyway, that's 4 thou, but that's not what I had it at 2 thou right before I started recording this. Put that back at 0. Anyway, bring that back. There we go. Yeah, 3 thou. Regardless, there's going to be run out. I've adjusted it. I'm not going to chase a 0. It's pretty dang close. So if I extend the quill, that's when things get even dicier. And I have been back and forth with this quill, by the way, in and out for an hour, no, several hours. I've been doing this all day, and I know there's going to be comments of, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? I have tested the chuck side and the tailstock side, both the horizontal and the vertical, and I'm trying my best, and I think I've got it to where it's as good as I'm going to get it. So here we go. I've got that extended with fully, but then I get, another 4 or 5 run out. I get 4 thou run out, vertical or horizontal, at the end of this rod with my dead center. Bring that back. Close to 0 there. So we bring that back. We're close to 0, and I got my 2 thou run out. And it looks like I'll be cutting a taper at that because it's running kind of the other way. And I've been, again, back and forth chasing this thing. And I'm looking at 1.5 thou variants. And every time I go messing with these set screws, I push it way off. And it just gets more and more frustrating the further you go. So at this point, I have about 4 thou run out on the tailstock with the quill fully extended. I've got a 2 thou, 1.5 to 2 thou variance from one end to the other on the run out, and overall I'm gonna go with that. All right, well, I'm done messing with this. I believe I have this pretty good for the tailstock, both fully extended and retracted. I'm going to warn anybody that's new to this. This is very frustrating. Don't chase zeros. You're not, I don't know. If you get it, I'm impressed, especially with these cheap lathes. So, just saying, you can really chase this to be accurate and very precise, but I'm going to go with some tolerances. I have a 2 thou run out up at the chuck, and I have a 2 thou run out, or a 2 thou run out back on the tailstock. It's a 4 thou run out if I have the tailstock fully extended at the tailstock. I'm okay with that. I'm just going to go with it, both vertical and horizontal. I'm done messing with the tailstock. I'm sure there'll be more comments on this video. I tried to use all the techniques that were provided to me. I didn't turn down any rod because I had a precision rod, so I just decided to use it. Sure, I could buy more materials, maybe a rod to actually try to make this better, but you know what? This is a mini lathe. It's a hobby, and I'm done messing with this, and I want to get on to having more fun. So again, I wanted to say thank you to everybody who provided great comments, the techniques, the proper way to actually tram this thing in, get your tailstock centered. It's tricky. Just keep playing with it. That's what I say. So anyway, thank you everybody for all the advice. I think I got this thing pretty good. I'm going to go with it for now. I've been making all kinds of stuff anyway. Now it's a little bit better than it has ever been. And that's what I'm going to go with. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.